Hello and Namaste. Since we just concluded Navaratri, a festival which celebrates Maya Shakti and her three gunas, I thought it was time to deep dive into what Krishna says about the three gunas of Maya. In order to understand gunas, we need to first understand what our Shastras say about the creation. The universe is created by the consciousness principle that we call Brahman. How does Brahman create the universe? It does it through its Maya Shakti. The consciousness principle and Maya are called Purusha and Prakriti respectively. Prakriti or Maya is not a separate entity. It is the power of Purusha, the consciousness principle. This is visualized in our scriptures as gods and goddesses who are married to each other. Goddess Saraswati is the creative power of Brahma. Goddess Lakshmi is the sustaining power of Vishnu. And Goddess Parvati is the destructive power of Shiva. In the 14th chapter of Gita, Krishna uses this same metaphor to explain creation. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavas sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The great Prakriti is my womb, and I place my seed in her, and from her the whole creation originates. All beings are born from Prakriti, and I am the Father. Krishna says Prakriti has three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamo guna. These gunas perform an incredible feat. They fasten this limitless and all-pervading Atma to this small and limited body. This is nothing short of a miracle. Shankaracharya expresses this wonder in his beautiful poem called Maya Panchakam. Nirupama nitya niranshakepya kande maichiti sarva vikalpanadi shunye gatayati jagadisha jiva bedam twagatita gatana patiyasi Maya. Maya is an expert at making the impossible happen, he says. I am the Atma who is pure consciousness and the only reality who is incomparable, divisionless and infinite. Maya superimposes on me this illusion and makes me believe that the world, God and me are three different entities. There is an amazing TED talk by a brain scientist who spoke about what happened to her when she suffered a stroke in the left hemisphere of her brain. It is this part of the brain which gives us the notion of I. It is this part which makes us feel separate from the world. Here is what she says. As soon as my left hemisphere says to me, I am, I become separate. I become a single solid individual, separate from the energy flow around me and separate from you. And this was the portion of my brain that I lost on the morning of my stroke. And here is how she describes her experience. These are her words. I look down at my arm and I realize I can no longer define the boundaries of my body. I can't define where I begin and where I end because the atoms and the molecules of my arm blended with the atoms and molecules of the wall, and all I could detect was this energy. I was immediately captivated by the magnificence of the energy around me. And because I could no longer identify the boundaries of my body, I felt enormous and expansive. I felt at one with all the energy that was. I felt like a genie just liberated from her bottle, and my spirit soared free like a great whale gliding through a sea of silent euphoria. Nirvana. I found Nirvana, and I remember thinking there is no way I would ever be able to squeeze the enormousness of myself back inside this tiny little body. Oh my God. Oh my God. Every time I listen to this talk, I get goosebumps. Here is a person who seems to have glimpsed the limitlessness of our real self. Is she not describing Satchit Ananda? Existence, consciousness and bliss. We saw that Maya is made up of Sattva guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Since the entire universe is made up of Maya, Everything in the universe also has these three gunas. Even our body and mind are made up of these three gunas. Throughout the Gita, Krishna keeps referencing the gunas and their implications. In the 14th chapter, he explains the nature of these three gunas. Hence, the chapter is titled Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. The nature of Sattva Guna is brightness and purity. Knowledge and pleasure arise out of Sattva Guna. If you love knowledge and intellectual pursuits, then Sattva Guna is dominant in you. The nature of Rajoguna is passion, desire and attachment. If you are an action-oriented and restless person, then Rajoguna is dominant in you. It is this guna which keeps the world moving. Tamo Guna is of the nature of ignorance and is born from delusion. It causes sleep, inaction, laziness and confusion. It should be noted that all of us have all the three gunas in us. No one has only Sattva Guna in them, or only Tamo Guna, or only Rajoguna. We have a combination of all the three gunas, and at different points of time, a different guna dominates our personality. For example, when you're sleeping, Tamo Guna is dominant. When you're fighting with someone or working hard on something, then Rajoguna is dominant. When you're learning, when you're contemplative, Sattva Guna is dominant. All the three gunas have both positive and negative attributes. All the three gunas have a role to play and are essential for our well-being. If you say Tamo Guna is bad, then imagine if you cannot sleep or rest at all. What will happen to you? If you say, I want only Sattva Guna, then imagine having great knowledge but no will to do anything constructive out of it. That is why in our tradition, all the three gunas are seen as three aspects of the goddess. We celebrate Navaratri worshipping the three gunas. Mahakali, who is the embodiment of Tamoguna, Mahalakshmi, who is the embodiment of Rajoguna, and Mahasaraswati, who is the embodiment of Sattvaguna. The universe cannot function without all the three of them. Please watch my Navaratri special videos where I spoke about all the three goddesses and their significance. In Lalita Sahasranamam, the goddess is described as Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. She is the power of desire, power of knowledge and power of action, the three Shaktis that we require to achieve anything in life. Each of these powers is a manifestation of one of the gunas of Maya. We need all the three for both material and spiritual success. I will end this post here. There is a lot more to talk about the gunas. We will continue this discussion in the following posts. Thank you for watching. For interesting insights on temples, philosophy and literature, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon for reminders. Share it with your friends and like-minded people. Until next time, Namaste.